I just am kind of stunned by the consistency that I was able to get. It just happened to be exactly so close to perfect that I'm just amazed, because I just don't expect that kind of stuff from my work. I'm really, really grateful for that. Now, one more thing. What you see here are some of the boards that I pulled out for one of two, well, two or maybe more reasons. Some of these, I've begun to be able to tell when there's going to be some really, really pretty grain. And so instead of cutting these down the middle, I decided to pull these out, and I'll plane these this size and see if I want to do something different with them. If you can see these little, they're not squares, but these little changes in color, when this is smoothed off, planed off, and then even sanded, the grain is just gorgeous. And so there are several of those that I think are going to have some real nice grain in them, like this one, and there's another. Here's one as well. You can't really maybe tell now, but if you can take my word for it, and I'll try to show it later, when you see this kind of, I don't know, stippling, what is that? It's just a marbling effect of some kind, and also these long grains that have changes in color. Man, these things clean up so pretty. And so I've set them out. In addition to that, some of these are about as crooked as the day is long, and I decided not to run them through because it would just be pretty much a waste of wood. So I'm going to see if I can do something else with those. Let's see if this one is, yeah. You can kind of see how much of an arc there is on that. That's not one of the worst ones. So there's some boards here, and there are some boards here too. Now, you might recognize I mentioned when I was breaking down pallets, these are super light. I don't even know, it must be poplar, I suppose, because I'm pretty sure it's not pine. Super light, but of just enough different size that the other pallet boards I was working with, these wouldn't have cut down the same way. So, speaking of something that might have really pretty grain to it, this is so rough, and yet you can see that's got to be poplar, doesn't it? You can see a glow in that's amazing, and it's gonna, I'm looking forward to cleaning that one up for sure. Now, the rest of these are all shorties, and they're the pallet wood that I cut with the stringer in the middle still there, because they were just going to snap if I didn't. And so these need to run through to match up with the long ones that I've already done. It's not crucial that they be exactly the same. If I'm going to do glue ups, I probably can't mix and match the short and the long. But I do want to get as much wood out of them as I can. So I'm going to just take a hair off each side, hopefully, and then find as close to the exact middle point as I can. What was cool about the last set was that it was like 3 and 5/8 inches wide, the boards after they were cut, to get straight sides. And what that turned out to be was like 1 9/16, counting for the kerf on the saw, of the kerf of the blade. Like 1 9/16 was so exactly down the middle that those things matched up except with a couple of exceptions, without any extra running through the saw. So 3 cuts got them exactly the same. Maybe that's something that you think, well, okay, whatever, just go ahead and do some work. Or you think, oh, wow, I've tried to do that a time or two and get them to match up, and yeah, I kind of know how tough that is. And I just feel very thankful that it worked that way. So let's run some of these shorts, and we might run the poplar, and then try to get it so that this stuff is all ready to run through the planer. Very, very light passes to get the top burr off on each side, and then see what we do with glue ups. I kind of think some of these could turn out really, really cool as end grain pieces. Let's find out. It's going to take me few weeks. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for joining in. I'm not exactly as far along with the straighten up phase as I thought I might be, but here's an example of some pieces that have been cut down out of pallet wood that I'm really, really happy with, and they go with these from a few weeks back that have been glued up, and I think they're about ready well, they're way ready. The glue is definitely cured by now, but this is the idea eventually of what might happen with these. And so the next phase is going to be, let's say, clean it up or flatten it out. I'm not sure yet. I'll get back with you on that. But it's going to be ready to go through the planer to get some of the flats cleaned up so I can see grain and anything that needs to be pulled out for some special purpose. But otherwise, hopefully the glue will take even better if they've been cleaned up just a little bit that way. I will take the light going out as my cue to show you the next thing. The main reason I'm not further along with this already is because I decided to do a lot more than I first intended. Here is one stack of pieces that have been cut. This still needs to have one side cut to get it all straightened up. This has been run on both sides. So there's a stack there. What is that? 7 or 8? Yeah, 30 some pieces, and these are a different width, but there's, I don't know, 30 some pieces of these too, that, and some of it's really interesting hardwood. Some interesting pieces that also have been cut on both sides. This is a good example to pull from, because here's one that probably won't be as useful as I would like, because it's got a crack in it here. It's got a crack in it here. And it's got a rough spot here. And it's got a warp to it. Who knows what I might be able to do with this. But then again, cut down the middle, this actually straightens up some. So might be able to use at least part of it. Or once I get the laser going again, this just could be just a cool rustic signboard. We'll see. But these are cut on both sides. So I've got a pile to do a second side on, but in the meantime, I've got a bunch of stuff that has been straightened up, at least so far. Thanks very much for watching. Love to know what you think about this, and going to try to be more and more and more active getting this stuff processed so that basically it's a bunch of cleaned up wood ready to just make something with. That's the goal.